What's going on, y'all? It's your girl Coco-Chanel, the Mademoiselle, and I am here to do a follow-up video from my most viewed video, which was a sexually frustrated Christian woman. I think it's been about 2 or 3 years since I actually did that video. I got like 2.6K views, and I do want to say that I appreciate everybody that, gave me some encouragement, gave me some words of wisdom. And I'm also thankful for the people who just kept it 100 with me and said, I ain't listening to no book. I'm about to get mine. And you know what? No judgment here. No judgment. But yes, I wanted to do the follow-up. But before I get into that, subscribe to my channel, like this video, because it's going to be a good one. And just stay tuned. All right, so here's the update. I succumbed to temptation. I fell for temptation, y'all. A couple times. This short amount of time, 2 years is like, when you think about 2 years, you're like, yo, that's, 365 times 2. Whatever that is, math is not my strong suit. I use a calculator. Along this journey, we all build our relationships with God, and we all start to define what our relationships with God is or are. 2 years ago, when I made that video, I was heavily entrenched into forming a relationship with God, trying to walk in purity and do pretty much all of the things that I knew how to do so I wouldn't sin. Because at this time, point in time, I know what's sin, I know what's not a sin. But the more I started to build my relationship with God and who I am, I just had a realization, and some may agree with me and some may not. I'm not here to push any agenda on you, and I hope you're not here to do the same to me. I'm gonna let my guard down and be completely honest with you. Like, I definitely categorize myself to be of the Christian religion. My whole thing with religion, period, is the fact that it's under this umbrella. There's never a gray area. There's always it's either black or it's white, and there's so much information out in the world about where these books in the Bible stem from. They were written by men, but because of these men who were connected to God, they wrote their story from their perspective of who God was to them. And so I felt as if I need to start positioning myself to have this relationship with God and write my story on my perspective of who God is to me. I feel like, again, this is my opinion, I feel like there needs to be an updated version of the Bible. And I know a lot of Christians are going to get on my head for this, but I transcribed more so of being spiritual, being connected to God in my own way, being a positive person and having a positive soul and doing the right thing morally. You don't need to be told what's right versus what's wrong. Like, you already have like this deep-seated thought and heart to know when you're doing something that's out of the ordinary. Some people are so selfish that they can't see past themselves, and when they're hurting someone or when they're doing something wrong morally, and that's where I feel like discernment steps in. You have to have discernment. So having a relationship with God, period, to me means more than just a religion. That's the first thing. Number two, it needs to be updated. Everything in the world has been updated. Technology has been updated, how we live, how we eat. I also wanted to add while editing that there are educational and occupational spaces where documents, policies, covenants are updated so everyone can stay proficient at what they're doing currently in life. Everything in our lives have been updated. The roles and the genders of women and men have been updated. No longer are women just standing by waiting to be chosen. Women are actually honing in and going for theirs, getting their own, And so that was one of the reasons why I felt like I can't relate to this, because number one, there are only 2 books in the Bible that are written from a woman's perspective, even though there are places and books in the Bible that are descriptive of a woman and they share their story, doesn't mean that it was from their perspective. And, you know, I respect it. I respect it, but that's just not the life that I'm living. I'm hoping that you're getting what I'm saying from this. I just feel like there's a lot of misunderstanding and misplacement of information for us to be going off of this one book. And it can be very confusing. So that's why I've decided to take a step back, and I receive what I receive from people, but then I also remember like what I'm connected to, and I'm open to different perspectives and different opinions and different interpretations of the Bible. And if it sits well within me, then I know that this is something that I'm aligned with. But if it's something that I'm just at a discord with, like there's some static, there's some, I don't know about that, then I have to be honest within myself as to whether this is something that I believe in and whether it's something that I'm going to follow. So there's a lot of questionable things about Christianity, and it's been hard. It's been a very hard realization for me, because I want to identify with this religion without going against the grain, but naturally we as humans have questions and we have concerns about, okay, so if this is the way that it's supposed to be, then why does this happen, you know? And that's when I just kind of decided, listen, I'm gonna take a step back and just build my relationship with God. This brings me to my next point as to why I feel like it should be updated, right? Because of the fact that with Christianity, there comes the topic of purity culture, where women are shamed, not so much men, but women are shamed for going out and being the sexual beings that they are. I don't believe that's fair, number one. And number two, it further perpetuates this misogynistic view of the men being put on this pedestal. I'm going to expound on this a bit more because there's a lot of emphasis on like virgin wife, virgin bride, Virgin Mary. But it's not the same on the opposite end when it comes to the men. You don't hear a lot about like a virgin man, a virgin husband. You don't hear that a lot in the Bible. It's not reciprocated. And even so, now to this day, there are a lot of men in the dating game who like to manipulate women by using the Bible as a reference while they pick and choose scriptures from it. And that's why I feel like it needs to be updated, because of the fact that there has been so many different perspectives for men to use versus for women to use. I saw a post on Spiritual Word, and it was a young lady who had tweeted, sex was originally made for marriage. God intended it to be. I got 2 issues with that. My first issue is this. Again, going back to, we need to update the Bible. Whoever our new prophets are living amongst us, like, come on, let's update it. Number one, my first issue with it is looking at the statistics and gathering the numbers of marriage percentages. Only 34% of Black women get married. My position is to think, if only 34% of Black women, and I'm saying Black women because I am a Black woman, okay? I'm not putting this against any woman, race, culture, whatever. I'm not talking about you. I'm solely talking about me. As a Black woman, with only 34% of us getting married, a lot of us are coerced or manipulated into this purity culture for marriage. Wait until you're married. Wait for that right person. Wait for that. It's for husband and wife. And let me just say this, abstinence and celibacy is not a practice that you should be doing to gain a spouse. It's a practice to do in order for you to have a stronger relationship with God. I'm a firmer believer of the term procreation is for marriage, because children do need 2 healthy, mature, and committed adults to be raising them in a household. Right? And I get I get the sentiments why and the reasons why, because we're connecting with people that have trauma. Women will fall victim to sex being something they can capture a man with, or now they're in love because they gave somebody their body. It's not the most mature way to go about things. It's not grown. It's actually it's very immature. And all depending on where your psyche and your mental are and your emotional, it can stunt your growth in loving yourself and loving someone else. Just in general, when it comes to relationships, my first issue is, you tell women to wait for marriage to have sex, but then there's only a small percentage of Black women, those 34%, who get married, and then the other 70 some odd, or excuse me, 66, right? The other 66, the other 66% don't know what that pleasure looks like, don't know what it look like, don't know what it feel like. Yeah, so I really do feel like purity culture needs to find a good balance at actually being honest. I just feel like religion, period, should be honest as to why sex isn't good before marriage, and not just you shouldn't have sex before marriage because doom da doom you go to hell. You know what I'm saying? Like, but actually letting us know what comes with that. Disease comes with it, pregnancy comes with it, like mental challenges, emotional challenges come with it. But I feel like when you're one within yourself and you know the relationship that you have with someone, because you didn't automatically jump into bed with them, and you took the time to know them, and now you want to get your rocks off. In my opinion, I just say be an adult about it and have fun. Like, go for it. I knew this video was important to make because of the amount of views and the amount of comments that I received. And I just want to let y'all know I am human at the end of the day, okay? God lives within me. There's a good balance of how I live my life and what I constitute from the Bible into my life. I still have a very deep-rooted relationship with God. I thank him/her every day when I wake up. I thank him/her for the opportunities that are presented in my life. And I've actually learned how to love myself a lot more by knowing who the God in me is. And I feel like that's important. Figure out who the God in you is. That's how you can get by with living your happiest life without feeling condemned about the decisions that you make. There are going to be feelings of guilt. I'm not gonna lie, like the times that I have lapsed, there have been feelings of guilt because of me interacting in sexual activity previous to marriage, but usually that feeling will dissipate. And I feel like the reason why I have those feelings is only because of the way that we have been shamed by purity culture. So yeah, that's pretty much all I have. You can leave your comments below. Again, I'm asking you guys to just be respectful. I respect your opinions and how you live your life, and I'm asking for you guys to do the same with mine. And if you can't, that's fine. I'll just delete any nasty comments. But I felt like I did owe you guys an update. But yeah, other than that, y'all, go ahead, subscribe to my channel, like and comment on this video, give me your thoughts and everything. And I hope you guys stay safe, sanctified, sanitized, keep hope alive, and continue to be prosperous and productive on your journey in life. Peace.